This video is all about what is making people make a move here to the city of Temecula, California. Basically, it's all about what makes the city of Temecula so great, what makes it so desirable, and why are so many people deciding it's the right place for them and their family to make a move to. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I'm a realtor and team leader with the Short Real Estate team here at Keller Williams in Temecula, California. And this video is all about the city of Temecula, and really we're going to talk about what makes the city of Temecula so great, why are so many people deciding to make a move here, and really just what makes it so desirable for people. So I'm going to tell you what I think makes it so great, and really how some of my conversations go when I talk with either clients or potential clients about why they decided Temecula was the right place for them and their family. So hopefully be some good information for you guys. But before I can get into all the information, do me a favor, if you like real estate videos like this, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Obviously it helps me, it helps my channel as we're trying to continue to grow it. And then we have new videos that we put out each and every week. So I think we have a couple hundred that we posted over the last couple of years. So there's definitely some good information there. And then I have new ones that we put out each week, so you can stay on top of those. And then if you guys have any real estate questions, of course, I'd love to hear from you. So it's how I earn a living. So myself and my team would love to answer any questions you may have, point you in the right direction, just give you some general information about the Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee Valley, or of course, if myself and my team, if we can help you out with your real estate search, of course, we'd love to do that as well. So you can feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email. My information's down below or at the end of the video. That's my cell. So feel free to reach out. So. Cool. All right, so we're going to talk about what makes Temecula so great, what makes it so desirable, and really, why people want to move here. So we're going to go. I got a list one through 6. I'm going to start with number 1, and really, it's just the affordability. So it is Temecula, where we're at. So we're in Southern California. We are the southernmost city in Riverside County. So any further south, you become part of San Diego County. We are a little bit more inland away from the coast. So you have the coast, you have San Diego County, you have Orange County, and then we are a little more inland, so a little more to the east out here. So we're a little more landlocked, a little more inland, but we are much more affordable than the other surrounding parts of Southern California. So San Diego County is it's going to be the closest. San Diego County, the average home to buy in San Diego is over $1 million. And what that $1 million home gets you is probably something that's like 1,400 square feet, 1,500 square feet. It was probably built back in the 1960s. It's probably not in such a great community, probably an older area. The neighborhood might be a little hit or miss. It probably doesn't have a great school district, right? As opposed to buying a home in Temecula, the average price has definitely gone up. So it's now about $850,000 or so. But still pretty substantially less than what you're going to pay in San Diego and some of these other counties. But the type of home that you just get so much more for your money. So that $850,000 home in Temecula, you can probably find something that's 3,000 square feet on a really good lot, probably built in like 2000 to 2010-ish years. So it's definitely a much newer home as opposed to something built in the 60s, which means you have all new construction types, right? So you have tile roofs, roofing, you have newer electrical, newer plumbing, all these types of things, newer layouts. They don't need these full gut remodels, right? And so not only the actual house, you get so much more for what you're going to pay. You can definitely find homes for closer to 600,000, 650, 700. Those definitely exist, but just take the average price home, right? But it's also going to be in a community that is much newer and, in my opinion, much nicer to live in. So you have a great public school system that's here locally. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It is in a newer community that's built anywhere from like the late 90s to the mid 2000s, 2010-ish or so. So all the shopping centers are newer, the roads are bigger, everything's bigger, and just more space, right? So you can get so much more for your money, and it tends to be just a really desirable area. So again, for that, $850,000 home, you get so much more than what you get for $1 million in San Diego. And it's gonna be the same thing when you compare to Orange County. That Orange County home is gonna be about $1 million plus, same trade-offs, right? And that LA home is gonna be over $1 million as well. So really the number one draw for people is that it's just so much more affordable. You can get so much more for your money. And that's really what puts Temecula on the map for people. And even from here, a lot of people will look at some of the surrounding, suburb cities around Temecula, like Murrieta, like Menifee, like Wildomar, like Winchester, because those are going to be even a little bit less. But the number one driver that makes Temecula so desirable is just the overall price point and how much more you're going to get for your money. All right, so the second item on my list about what makes Temecula so great is just the overall location. So even though we are in such a more affordable area, we are still in Southern California, and you are only about an hour away from all the other cool stuff that Southern California has to offer. So you're about an hour away from most beaches, 45 minutes to an hour away from the beach. So you're not that far away from the coast. You're about an hour away from a lot of these big cities. So if you wanted to, go down to downtown San Diego and have some nightlife, or to go see a big concert, that type of thing, it's all really, really doable. It's really easy to take a day trip out to do those types of things. So it's about an hour drive. You're about an hour away from most parts of Orange County. So like from Disneyland and a lot of the other cool stuff that's out there. You're probably an hour away or so to get out to the desert. So you get out to the Palm Springs or the desert or anything like that. So if you're into that, you're probably about an hour and a half away, from like a mountain range like Big Bear. So it's a little bit further there, and you're probably about an hour and a half-ish, maybe a little bit more away to most parts of LA. But we are still a really, really central location. So even though we're a little more inland, a little more east, right, we are still within a really, really easy driving distance to all the other cool stuff that Southern California has to offer. And that is the thing when I'm talking with clients and potential clients, that is something that's super desirable for them is they still want to be a part of Southern California. They want to be able to access all the other cool stuff that Southern California has, or just be able to be in real easy driving distance to their family, right? So if you have family that is in some of these bigger cities, you can live here and you can still easily make those trips out to visit family on the weekends or whenever it is that you want to. All right, so the third item on my list is the great public school system that's in place. So the Temecula Valley Unified School District is a really, really, really highly rated school district. Across the board, most of the schools are going to be rated 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or even up to a 10 out of 10. Across the board, it's a really, really highly rated school district. They've done a really great job from elementary school, middle school to high school. So if you buy a home in Temecula and if you live in the city of Temecula, you can pretty much be assured that your child will go to a really good school, and they're probably going to do that until they graduate high school. So, and that is something that, as a taxpayer, right, that's a big benefit that you're going to have, as opposed to, like I said, some of those bigger cities, like say San Diego, where when you buy that average home, that's $1 million, that is like in an older area. The school district that it's a part of probably isn't that great of a school district, right? So in general, that's going to be a much bigger difference when you're living here in Temecula. So that is a really big thing for people when they make a move here. Not only that, one of the high schools here, the Great Oak High School, is super, super highly rated. It's actually, I think it's the last rating I saw, it was a top 1,200 school in the nation, which is super, super high. So they've always scored really high, and I have a lot of people that actually will buy a home in the part of town that's zoned for that high school, just so their kids can go there for the 4 years, and as soon as they graduate, they sell and they move out and get out, down to San Diego or Orange County or wherever they're from, wherever their family is. So it's definitely a big selling point. And in my opinion, I guess it's not just my opinion, but I think history shows us that when you buy a home that's located in a good school district, that is a really, really good indicator that long term your home will continue to appreciate in value, because that is going to continue to be a desirable area. So not only schools are good today, and you as a home buyer want to buy a home that's located in a good school district, yes, of course, but in the future, whether that's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, when you decide to sell your home, your home's going to be in a good school district, and the person that's buying it is that's going to be important to them. They're going to be willing to pay more for your home because it's in a good school district and it's part of a school that their kid's going to go to, and that's going to be a big benefit for them. So when you buy a home in a good school district, that's a really good indicator that your home will continue to appreciate in the future and continue to be desirable. All right, so item number 4 on my list is safety. And so the city of Temecula is a very safe place to live. It is constantly rated as one of the safest cities in the United States. It's been anywhere from in the top 5 to the top 10 to right now I think it's in the top 100 safest cities throughout the nation, so which is a really, really big plus. Especially compared to other parts of California that aren't going to be, that are not near as safe. That's a big draw for people. There's a large police presence here in the area. There's a big sheriff's department, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. I think they do an excellent job of keeping everything safe, keeping out the riffraff, keeping out, minimizing any type of like a homeless problem or, homeless people living here full time, anything like that. Any city is going to have some degree of issues, right? But the little amount of issues that we have here in Temecula compared to other parts of California is, I think it's a big plus. I think it's something that makes this area so desirable. There's also a really big military presence, which I'm sure plays into that. So I think there's 5 or 6 different military bases within driving distance. So there's a lot of people that live here in the city that are part of the military. So whether from Marine or Navy or even Army or even Air Force, there's a big military presence, and I think all that just helps the area stay super safe. And that is, that's a big thing for people when they are moving to a new place. All right, so number 5 on my list is about how much the city of Temecula has grown. So I know I've mentioned this in a lot of my videos in the past, but I have lived here in the city of Temecula for a really long time. For about 25 years, it's been Temecula and Murrieta and Winchester, so kind of some different parts of this of town and the areas here, but I've been here for a really long time, and I have seen the area change quite a bit. So 25 years ago when we moved here, it was a really small town. There were not a ton of people that lived here, and you saw a lot of new construction and things were growing. But as someone that lived here, it can be a little bit frustrating because there wasn't a ton of things to do locally. 25 years later, that has definitely changed quite a bit. So now the city has really grown a ton. It is pretty much built out. There's really not much vacant land that exists here in the city. Pretty much the whole city has been constructed. I'm sure there's little pockets here and there, but for the most part, there's really not much more space. So the reason that that's such a good thing is because, like, when I was a kid, when I was in my, when I was a teenager or early 20s, it can be a little bit frustrating where we had to take a lot more trips to like the bigger cities to have more fun things to do. But now, so many years later, that has really changed. So it really is a big functioning city. I know a lot of times I describe Temecula as like as a suburb, as a bedroom community where people live here and commute out for work, and that is true. But I think I undersell just how big of a city it is. So in Temecula, about 110,000 people live within the city limits, and then just in the general areas, like the kind of surrounding cities are all kind of part of the valley here. It's about 500,000 people between Temecula and Murrieta, Winchester, Menifee, Wildomar. It's a pretty large chunk of people, and not only that, with those people comes all types of infrastructure. So whether that's from growing freeways, new freeway off-ramps, whether that's from shopping centers, malls, downtown areas, tons of shopping centers, schools, hospitals, all that type of stuff. It's a full-fledged, operating city. And so I think I kind of undersell that a little bit about just how big it is. And usually when people come to town, and I think they're always a little bit surprised about how large of a city it is and how fully functioning it is. So hopefully that's a good thing for you guys to know. All right, so the last thing on my list, number 6, about what makes Temecula so great is it's going to be the weather. So here in Temecula, the 10 months of the year, I think we have really, really great, amazing weather, and then 2 months of the year are going to be pretty dang hot. But compared to some parts of the country, it's really, really not that terrible. So, you know, throughout the year, you know, we're in Southern California, so we don't get a ton of rain, right? I think we only get somewhere between 18 to 20 inches or so per year. Those are the last stats that I saw. So, not something that we get a ton of. From October through really June or even into July, the weather here is really, really nice. You're going to have sun most days. I mean, it's January right now that I'm recording this, and I think it's 70 today, and it's blue skies. It's a little windy, but overall really, really nice. There are 2 months of the year that definitely get super hot. So August and September, and even the tail end of July can definitely be pretty hot. So the averages, they say about 92, 93 degrees. We definitely get heat waves that are hotter, so over 100, up to 100, 103, 105 degrees for sure. There's not a ton of days. I would say, I think the last stats I saw was about 21, 22 days a year on average that are over 100 degrees. So it's not like it's every day, but it definitely gets hot for sure. Everyone has central AC, so you can easily cool down. But what is really nice is even on those hot days, we get a really nice breeze that comes from the coast and really takes the heat off. So makes the area a lot more comfortable. So you might get a hot day, it's up to 98 degrees, and the breeze comes at night, and then it cools off to 75, 70, 68 degrees, and it makes it real nice. That happens by like probably 6 o'clock or so. So makes it much more comfortable, so it doesn't stay hot all summer long. And not only that, we don't have those super crazy highs like, say, Las Vegas or Palm Springs or Arizona, or just like that true terrible, 115, 120, just those miserable days. We don't have anything like that. So I think the weather here is a big plus. We're part of Southern California, so a ton of sun. I'm sure we'd always like a little bit more rain, but I think it's a big benefit when you live here is that you have great weather pretty much the whole year round. All right, so hopefully that's a good list for you guys. Those are the 6 things that make Temecula so great, and really those are the 6 reasons that so many people have been deciding to make a move here to the city of Temecula. Hopefully it's good information for you guys. If you have questions, you can feel free to reach out. Like I said, you can call, you can text, you can email. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and hopefully I will talk to you soon. Thanks.